What's up guys, it's Caleb from KCNE Studios, and today we are going to be continuing my Gamerathon, and we are on Gamera vs. Gaus from 1967, I believe. So, we'll get to the story, then I'll get to, I'll just do some more discussion on it, and then I'll give it my ratings, 1 out of 5. So, the story goes like this. So, somewhere in Japan, it's somewhat of a remote mountainous place. These workers, they're trying to get this road built, and so the villagers around in that hometown didn't really like what they're doing. I think that's what happened, because I didn't completely understand why they were all like frustrated and stuff. I mean, it's like you're getting a road, so you should probably be happy. But so then the main character, which is a little kid, which is somewhat annoying. I mean, I watched the Japanese version, so definitely not as annoying as the American version with the dubbed voice actor for the little kid. But anyways, he goes into the forest and he finds this reporter who's kind of like watching all what's going on and stuff, all the, like people getting frustrated about the road and stuff like that. And so, the reporter sees, or no, the kid, his name is Ichi, or Ichi, something like that. He sees that around the mountain there's this cave, and he wants to go in, and the reporter's all like scared and stuff, and he doesn't want to go in, but he goes in anyways. And so it's like glowing blue and stuff, so they go inside there, but then this like eruption starts, and the cave starts collapsing in on itself. The reporter escapes and leaves the little kid in there, which is total, like, wow, you're such a jag. Why did you just leave this child inside a mountain as it was like rocks are falling down? You want this child to die? I mean, some of the people that are watching this movie, especially with the American version, don't really like his acting, but come on, you wouldn't just, like, kill him. I mean, I don't know, whatever. But, so, he escapes, but, he kind of gets, like, bad, juju, because Gaus comes out, and he eats him. So Gaus is just, I mean, if you don't know who he is, he's, basically just a giant blackish reddish bird, pterodactyl kind of thing, and he can shoot lasers, yellow lasers, that are actually really powerful. Like they'll make you bleed when, or at least Gamera, they make Gamera bleed every single time he gets hit, but unless it's in the show, which makes it a really violent movie. His other moves are, his other abilities are, he can fly, he can shoot this, like, yellow stuff out of his chest or something. I don't really get it at all, but he can shoot it out, and then he, spreads out his wings, and, like, he kind of, like, flaps them forward, which kind of sends a bit of a, like, a windstorm kind of thing. And it puts out fires, too, which is kind of weird. I don't really understand that ability. He can fly, and he can regenerate limbs, which is pretty interesting. I mean, he's a tough enemy for Gamera, to be honest. Like, he totally kicked his butt. So then, Gamera comes out, and they fight, and Gamera loses. Yeah, Gamera loses. Gaus goes back to his home, and then the scientists and the kid, they kind of get together and they talk about Gaus and how, like, much of a threat he is. They find out some things about him. They find out that he only likes to come out at night, which the previous battle was at nighttime, and he doesn't like bright lights, which is, I have to kind of call bull on that one, because the previous year, a movie came out called War of the Gargantuas, which, if you don't know what it is, it's a movie made by Toho, in which two giant Bigfoot kind of creatures, they fight each other, and the mean one of the giant Bigfoot creatures, Gyra, he doesn't like getting bright lights shine in his face, and they totally just took that from that movie. I mean, it came out a year before Gamera versus Gyaos, but whatever. I kind of had to call that out because that was I don't know that's just like that's not cool. They just took that from Toho. But so then what they do is in the village they kind of the military comes and they kind of like set up camp there, stuff like that. They set up like a research thing building, I guess. And so the next night the people in the village they all set up like a bunch of lights and stuff, and then Gaus comes and he kind of just ignores everything. Like he totally ignores the lights. The lights don't do anything to him, which I found quite amusing. Another thing is the people that were out there that were setting up the lights, they were so scared of him. Even in the Japanese version, the acting was pretty bad. But then again, the Gamera movies are pretty low budget, so yeah, so then Gamera comes out and he goes to Tokyo, I think it was Tokyo, some big city, and he starts destroying stuff. And then he goes back to the mountain, or wait, no, he doesn't. Oh no, sorry, I totally got that wrong. So he destroys, he like destroys some city, and then he flies over to this baseball stadium, and then Gamera comes, and the baseball stadium is like next to the ocean, so Gamera and Gaus are having this sky battle, which was pretty cool actually. And then they finally like kind of fall into the ocean, and Gamera he bites off Gaus's toe, but Gaus he shoots like his super sonic ray things at Gamera's head, and he manages to escape. So then later you see Gaus in his little cave thing, and this was kind of disturbing to be honest. You saw Gaus growing his toes back that Gamera bit off. I found that somewhat disturbing, but I mean it was kind of cool too, but it was pretty disturbing. And then also these people, these like dock workers or something, they found the toes in that like washed up ashore or something like that. They found them and they're like, oh my gosh, it's a toe, we should go tell someone. So like they go tell someone, they come back and they find that it's like 2 times smaller. So then the research people comes and they're researching it, and then the people that found it, they're like, well now it's 3 times smaller. And so then they do this hypersonic, no, they like tested UV rays on it or something like that. And so they put the UV light rays on it, and it totally just shrunk the toes, which was interesting to see. And so they learned some more about him. I think earlier they learned that Gaus has 3 throats, or no, 2 throats, sorry. One for shooting his supersonic beam ray thing at him. Another thing they noticed is that the UV rays, he doesn't like daylight, but that's because he dies in daylight. Because the test with the UV rays, it totally like shrunk and just destroyed the toes and stuff like that. That's why he doesn't like to be out in the daytime. That's why he only comes out at night. So then they set up another kind of test thing. What they do is they get this like, I don't exactly remember what it is, but it was this liquid thing, and they set it on top of this kind of plate that spins around, this giant plate kind of thing. And so then Gaus came, and he started drinking the stuff, and it kept spinning around and stuff until it was like daytime. And but then it kind of failed miserably. And Gamera came to save the day because that test thing that they did, that was like their last hope. So then Gamera came and he fought Gaus, and he won. So basically, happy ending. So yeah, my thoughts on the movie. It was pretty good as far as the Gamera movies go. Obviously, the for the Showa ones, they're pretty bad, but the first three aren't that bad. This is the last one before the Gamera movies get really really cheesy and stuff like that. So that's gonna be great for the next episode. But the acting, it was all right. I felt like Gyaos was the center of attention since they were constantly trying to defeat him and stuff. But um, I mean, it was kind of like Godzilla 2014, where people got all upset because it felt like it was more about the Mutos in Godzilla 2014. This is kind of the same thing, but Gyaos is actually a pretty cool monster in this. He's pretty different from Gamera Guardian of the Universe, which is basically the remake of this movie. Not saying that that's a thing. It kind of is, not exactly. Um, Gauss, like, everything about him is cool besides his suit. His suit is not that good. It's stiff. His wings are basically just giant triangles that go on each side. So Gauss is Illuminati confirmed, obviously. But yeah, so the characters, they were all right. Another thing I found was that Ichi, the little kid, he kind of like, if he wasn't in this movie, the people would be so screwed because he was the one who found out every detail about Gauss. Literally. He went into or it didn't show him going into the caves more, but he said he went in to the caves again and stuff, and he found out all the secrets about Gauss. He found out that he doesn't like to be out at daytime. He only comes out at night. He found out, like, everything about him. He even got another idea for, like, he came up with most of the ideas for defeating Gauss. Like, another thing I forgot to mention in this movie is they know that Gamera really likes fire, so what they do is they set the forest and the mountain on fire, and that's what brings Gamera to come later. So actually the dish thing, I kind of got the story wrong, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But I don't know, the kid, he just came up with all the answers to their problems, which was really funny and really, I guess, unrealistic, kind of, if that's the right word. But Gamera, he got his fair share of, screen time. What I did find was that it was more about the monsters than the people, which is what I really liked. And the people, they did have their they did have character development in this movie, actually, with the whole the road thing. Later they get that all settled out with the workers and things like that, and the people in the village, because the main character who lives with his grandparents, they have trouble with the other villagers and stuff like that, but they all get it settled out, which I mean, I don't know, I kind of like that. The characters, you don't really care about them, but they were pretty good, actually. I'm gonna have to be honest, they were pretty good in this movie, especially as far as a low budget kaiju movie like this. But I mean, it was pretty good. So on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being it was the worst movie ever, or 5 being best movie ever, 2.5 being I'm kind of in the middle with it, and I can't really decide. I would have to go somewhere in between 2.5 and 3, because I mean, and I don't know. So because the reason is that, I mean, it was good. It's just the models were good. Everything about this movie was great besides the music. The music in this movie is kind of just what mostly brought it down. It also was slow at some parts, but I don't know. I can't. And I also don't want to give it too much because it wasn't that great. So I would give it like a 2.7. So yeah, that's what I would give this movie. And so anyways, guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this review. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also, I kind of forgot to mention this, but thank you guys for 75 subscribers. I honestly, I'm really, really happy about that, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do for it. I think I'm gonna do something. I'm definitely gonna do something special for my 100th, my 100 subscriber episode. But 75, I'm not too sure about it. I'm probably not gonna do anything. I'm sorry, but I just don't really have any ideas. I mean, because see, like, if I was to do something like the Ghost Pepper Challenge, that would be more about me. This channel is about kaiju and stuff like that, and that's what I like to focus on more. Um, but I may end up doing something like that just because I have no clue. Um, and I also just don't really have the time to do something that special. But I I won't let you guys down. I will do something for my 100th subscriber episode. But yeah, so anyways, guys, I hope you have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you haven't, and I will be seeing you guys later.